Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Loose Convos. I'm your host, Chad J. Recently, Drake has announced the official release date for his upcoming album, Iceman, which is set for May 15th. And he did it in a creative way. He had a ice block stacked on top of each other in the area of his hometown, Toronto. And then fans gathered around, broke the ice like a scavenger hunt just until the fact that one fan found the release date and won a money, grand prize money, which is pretty cool. But at the same time, it's like, okay, that's a creative way to announce the release date. However, the album itself is like you're gonna have fans anticipated by it. Please, let's hear something different. Let's not hear like what you have said on Fighting Irish, let alone what have you said on What Did I Miss? Because at this point, if that's the case, it is beyond old and beyond annoying. It is beyond annoying. Now, let's if he said something different in a sense where he's sort of like confessing, like when he said that gave UMG 15 years of his soul, something he never said. Okay, cool. But at the same time, say something different. Say something meaningful. Say something truthful. Say something that you would never admit in public. None of this mafia boss type Drake. Let's hear something truthful, something meaningful, something that'll make the fans say, wow, he just admitted something that is real. Something that is like something that you would never ever expect from Drake. Beyond this whole mafia song in his mind sets. None of that. So let's hear something that's truthful, something that's honest, something that's deep. In addition to his upcoming album set for May 15th, rumors have circulated who might be on it. Most of the rumors have said Future. Um, Me personally, I don't see that happening. I mean, there's no way that that could happen. If that happens, that would be a shocker. Because look at his last album, Metro Boomin, and how many artists, excuse me, he has collaborated with. Who is it against Drake? I don't know if that's gonna happen. In my opinion, that's just like an expectation rather than a factual statement right there. A lot of people say Central C. Okay, that's possible. Travis Scott. Okay, that's possible. That is a strong possible set. But even if that's the case, the majority of the singles might be like released on Drake's own terms, like with no feature. What if that happens? Because he could possibly do that. I mean, certain people say also Party Next Door, which is highly likable, not just for the album released a few years ago. You know, he had a single "Give Me a Hug" with Party Next Door, but at the same time, it's like that's his OVO artist. That's his OVO fam. So that makes sense. But Future, nah, I don't see that personally. And it's been time and time and again where Drake has collaborated with Young Money. Of course, that's his group. That's his like family to him. That's he was signed by Young Money, so maybe Lil Wayne, maybe Nicki Minaj, but Future, don't see that happening. Other than that, it's like put aside the feature artists for a second, which is a possibility of feature artists. Fans saying Future, Central C, Travis Scott. Put aside that for a second and like let's hear something different from Drake than what we have heard from him in recent years, ever since the whole situation in recent years. It's like let's hear something different. No crying, no complaining, just deep things. If it's Iceman, you're naming the album Iceman, then be cold as heck. If you're gonna go take it that far, if you're gonna take it that far, go cold. Be cold. Don't be childish with it. We know childish with it. Just be bold enough to be bold enough to say something deep that you never said before. But if it's like beef wise, war words, you better come hard with some fighting words. Just come hard with fighting words. But other than that, let's see something totally different. Forget the beef. Forget all of the past. Talk about your state of mind, like where you were at to where you are now. And it's like it was freezing before. Now I'm gonna freeze up. I was frozen before, but I'm gonna freeze it up even more. That's that will be major. That will be a major comeback. How you brush that off, and you're gonna freeze everything that's been in motion, or maybe how everything freezed up because you weren't there for the past 2 years. Never mind what happened for the past 2 years, but I'm talking about like in terms of how he has been releasing music, how he normally does. Put it in that perspective. You're about to freeze everything with Iceman. That would be a major statement right there. Major statement right there. Move forward and freeze it. Freeze whatever momentum you want to gain. Freeze that momentum on the other side. Gain off of that if you're gonna talk about Iceman. But then this childish thing, like no teardrops, no teardrops.